The Kuhli Loach, also known as Pangeo semicita. This species of small communal fish maxes out at just 4 inches in length, actually just under that, and requires a minimum of a 30-gallon tank. You may be wondering why such a thin-bodied fish requires such a large tank if it gets only 4 inches. Well, it's because they require schools. This is a schooling loach species which requires groups of at least 6 in order to properly thrive. In the wild, they're often found in large numbers and congregations, so it's recommended to keep them in groups. The natural habitat for this species is slow-moving tributaries and backwater rivers, as well as bogs and swamps. Typically, there is slow current in these habitats. This species has been found in both clear water and black water environments, so tannin staining is not a requirement. That being said, they do prefer a dimly lit aquarium. Typically, their environment has negligible dissolved hardness. The substrate for their environments is typically peat, mud, or sand substrate with abundant leaf litter for hiding spaces. The geographic distribution for this species is peninsular Malaysia, as well as the Great Sunda Islands of Sumatra and Borneo, though it is unclear how large their true extent actually is. Conditions for keeping this species is you must have sand substrate and a few pieces of driftwood to provide shading, though if you don't want driftwood in your tank, it is not required. You just want to make sure it is a dimly lit tank. You should have decorations. PVC pipes and caves will also work. Driftwood is just a natural way to go about it. If you want to get really natural, put a bunch of botanical leaf litter in there for them to hide and play in. This will also lower the dissolved hardness and pH of your water, making it more naturalistic. You are quite limited on aquatic plant species because of how dim they prefer their tank. That being said, some will work, like Cryptocorini, Anubis, and various other low-light species. Be careful depending on the type of filter you have. If you have a canister or hang-on back filter, make sure to have a sponge on the filter intake so that they don't get sucked in. That being said, due to their preference for low water flow, I would recommend sponge filtration for this type of fish. Let's go over behavior and compatibility. Pangeo species like the Kuhli Loach tend to be fairly peaceful and cohabitate with a wide range of fish. Assuming that they aren't outcompeted for food, they'll get along with most fish. Don't keep them with aggressive fish as they cannot defend themselves. Ideal recommendations for tank mates would be peaceful nanofish like the Boreas genus Rasboras, or even guppies, endlers, and small tetras. That being said, they do well in a variety of tank setups. The diet for this species in the wild is quite simple. They are a micropredator, and they're a sand sifter. They typically sift sand through their gills, searching for. That being said, some of their diet will consist of detritus and plant matter that is consumed from the prey. In captivity, they're typically unfussy about what they eat and will survive off a variety of food. That being said, they should be supplemented with live and frozen food like mice, shrimp, and grindleworms, though they will accept sinking pellets meant for carnivores. That is what their staple diet should be. Let's go over sexual dimorphism, or how to tell males from females for the Kuhli Loach. Adult females will typically be heavier bodied, thicker, and a little larger than males. The main way to tell the difference is the first pectoral fin of the males. Males will have a branched and thickened first ray of their pectoral fin. Rays are the categorical lines on the fins, which carry blood vessels and nerves. There is not much known about reproduction in captivity, so I cannot cover that in this video. If you know about breeding Kuhli Loaches and would like to share, please comment below and I can make another video on it.